What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Hope your vibes are immaculate today. I'm AG, your host, CEO, director, manager, and all that. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you for listening. And on today's pod, man, unfortunately the Mavs fall to the 76ers 111 to 101 at Philly tonight. Tough matchup already from the get-go. You're going against two superstars in James Harden and Joel Embiid. So honestly, from the start, this game, looking at it on paper, should be a win for the Sixers. And so, Mavericks, just got to give it all they can to really get a dub tonight and just fall up short tonight. Honestly, to sum up this game, we just didn't make enough shots. That's all it was. We honestly played very solid defense. As solid as we could play at, our maximum height is 6'10". And, we're going against an MVP in, consideration, at least, one of the league leaders, top two in, the MVP voting right now, and Joel Embiid. And, we're playing the best defense we can against him, doubling him, trying to stop him from getting those easy buckets on the inside, just really trying to take advantage on the inside of us, or inside the paint. We forced him to, have to make jumpers. And sometimes he was making jumpers tonight for them. And let me see his stats. He finished with 32 tonight. Only 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I think that 8 rebounds goes to show how much we were really trying to keep him out of the paint. Like, there really was, 2 guys on him, and that was, the plan, to force him out, make other guys kind of basically hit jumpers to win the game. And those other guys, they hit jumpers tonight. It's, nothing you could do. He had Joel Embiid was very efficient. He shot up 6 threes a game tonight. I don't know how many he shoots a game, but 6 seems a little bit more on the more side, so that's good. And I know if you're watching the game, you see him forced more outside jumpers, and was and also he got to the free throw line a lot, pretty frequently. But other than that, we really forced him out the paint to get his points, and he's a good enough player that he can do that. And tonight was one of his on nights, and unfortunately it was on for a lot of players. I'm looking at the threes they made. I mean, Nyang for them came in and hit his first, I think 3 or 4 in a row, or at least he went off there in I think it was the third quarter. He went off, yeah. Yang in the third hit 3 threes in a row that really pushed the 76ers ahead and really gave them the lead. That the cushion of the lead, where you're just like, it's uncomfortable to be on the losing side, where you're like, damn, it feels like you really got to do a lot to get back into this game. And when he hit those threes, that were those 3 in a row, they were pretty much daggers. And in the fourth quarter, I remember at the start of the fourth, he hit another, and they were already up double digits at that point. And their lead seemed to float at 15, around 15 at most of the end, the rest of the game. And, it's a tough L, but, not unexpected. We got to see the positive, the bright side. That's kind of how I vibe with, and, seeing the silver lining and things. And honestly, we just went on a 3-game road trip. I mean, I know we have more to go, or one more to go, but these last 3 games were the more crucial ones, because it's Boston, Brooklyn, and then Philly. Those are all 3 legit, good playoff, Eastern Conference playoff teams. So for us to go against those and come out of those 3 games 2-1, I mean, that's really the best bet you could have hoped for. You could have hoped for, man, I think I even said on one of my recent pods that, that I hope we at least out of that 3-game stretch, you would come out, 2-1. Of course, everyone wants to come out 3-0. But I mean, if you're really realistically looking at it, at least 2-1 would be the best scenario, and that's what happened. So honestly, there was 2 game winners with Spencer Dinwiddie, but still, that's 2 dubs in the books. So that we got to take that in stride, and that's good stuff from the Mavs. It's really showing that this Mavs team is learning. Game by game, we are getting better. We are doing the right thing, especially defensively. It's like every game we're doing the right thing. Like tonight, yeah, they went off. They had to make threes. Like, we were really, stopping that inside presence of Joel Embiid and forcing, others to beat us. And they did tonight. They just, making jump shots. They shot, let me pull this up right here. They shot 42% from three tonight. So way above league average, really good. 16 of 38. We only shot 37. It just wasn't enough. We didn't make enough shots. Luka had a very uncharacteristically off night. I had a friend I was texting with, and Jared actually from the last pod, and Luka had 17 points tonight, and I'm like, he ain't getting. I'd bet money he is not getting. I wouldn't put my house, savings on, but I'd bet a good amount of money that Luka doesn't get, less than 20 the rest of this year, like for real, the rest of the season and playoffs. Like he doesn't get less than 20. So and he's he texted back. It was like, dude, he hasn't had less than 10 like in his whole career. So it's like, yeah, like the level that is really off night. For Luka, 5 of 20 from the field, 2 of 10 from three. 17, but he still, come out, had 10 assists, had 7 rebounds, showed, he still looked good he had an off, you could just tell he's still the best player, in our eyes, just one of the best players on the floor, and, only finished with 17, but still did everything else you need, and a top player that just doesn't have a scoring night, and 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and, the rest of the squad, along with Luka shooting, the rest of the squad didn't really shoot so well, and really bring us up. Spencer Dinwiddie also had a really kind of off night. He was only 4 of 12 from the field. He finished with 12 points, got to the line, kind of, good. Still got a good amount, just didn't hit shots. 0 of 4 from three. Had 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I think the surprise of the game and the another silver lining was Jalen Brunson, which kind of sucks because we had a really good Jalen Brunson game and we kind of wasted it tonight on, everybody else kind of not. It just off night. Just wasn't our night. But Jalen Brunson finished with 24 points. Reminder, I think he might have went off, Jalen Brunson, because his dad was there. So, he had that, that dad effect, that daddy effect, just like Tim Hardaway had. He had that. Jalen Brunson got a little bit of that tonight because he was killing it tonight. I wish he would have took more shots there at the end of the game, or when things got a little bit more tight, because he was the one that was really on tonight. So, wish I would have seen him just get a little bit more aggressive, but still a good game from him. 10 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from three, 3 rebounds, 4 assists along with that. So he finished with 24 points, as I said. So, a good night from him. He's being aggressive, especially in the first quarter. He came out and he hit some shots. You were just like, oh yeah. He finished the first quarter with 7 points along with Luka at 9. They were the ones carrying the way really in the first half. Into the first half, Jalen Brunson had 15, Luka had 13. Nobody else had any, double digits. Dwight Powell was the next with 8, and nobody else had more than 4 points. So, yeah, just one of those games where either they were going to have to go off or other guys were really going to have to step up in the second half. And unfortunately, for the Mavs, second half just didn't, things just didn't go well for us. And 76ers were able to, get into the paint. And also, when they kicked it out, they were able to knock down shots. So, good, credit to them. They hit shots. Looking at their three, Tobias Harris, 2 of 3. Embiid, as I said, 2 of 6. Maxey, 2 of 5. Hit a pull-up 3 in transition. I was just like, oh, okay, they're feeling it. I like Maxey as a player too. I really love Maxey from the area. So shout out, much Texas love to all the Texas players, from here. But he hit a pull-up 3. I was just like, oh, okay, if he's hitting them just on, like, it's crazy. And of course James Harden, 3 of 8. Thibault, he was 2 of 2. So he hit both his threes. So we're really hoping that he was gonna be off, and he even hit 2, 100%, 2 of 2. And then off the bench, the only ones to really shoot 3, Yang was 4 of 7, but his threes were pretty crucial. He hit those 3 and the third that really pushed the lead ahead for Sixers and gave them I don't want to say comfortable, but just gave them I guess it was comfortable enough lead, around a 10-point. Then they built it up to about 15-point game. and really took over the game from there. And that largest lead was up to 20. So, I'd say, yeah, it averaged around 15 there at the end. But other than that, I mean, yeah, just an off night. If you just look at the stats, I mean, you look at the points in the paint. We actually finished with 38 to their 36. So that just goes to show, like, we really did kind of, I don't want to say shut down, but we did our best to really contain and keep Embiid out of the paint, and him working inside and just giving up 50 points to him all on dunks and highlights. It would have been if we just let him go to work like that. But forcing guys to really just have to make shots. But we're playing. These are professional players. They get paid to play the game just like everybody else. So they're gonna hit shots like they're supposed to on some nights, and this is just one of those nights, and it happened to fall on where you just have a really off Luka Doncic night. Only 5, as I said, 5 of 20. Just look at the stats, you're like, ew, like, ugh. But I mean, the rest of the stats look like he had 7 rebounds, 10 assists. You think that type of game, you have like 30 or something, but only 17. Just a rough night. I mean, it happens. It really happens. I think another silver lining to this game, man, was Maxi Kleber came out of his slump, hit 2 of 4 from 3. I mean, still not shooting at the high rate, but I mean, still to come out and hit 2 threes in this game, go 2 of 4, great stuff by him. It's still doing good, as well as again as we can against Joel Embiid on the defensive end, but offensively, he looked a little bit more confident. He hit that first 3, and everyone was like, oh, shit, like, there we go. Like, hopefully he's back. And, hopefully we see him continue to do that. 19 minutes off the bench. We really had to mix it up. They went really deep in this game because you kind of have to find it, especially when guys just aren't bringing. You got to find some type of spark, and felt like that's what Kidd was kind of trying to do. The most guys up, minutes were, went to Kleber and Josh Green, respectively. Josh Green finished solid game, 7 points, 4 rebounds. He had a 3 there when we were trying to make a little comeback. I think it was in the second or third, and hit a nice rotation, corner 3 that he should do. And then he also had a nice little floater at one point for one of his buckets. That was awesome. That if he can just get that down, he'd be, a very solid rotational player. Right now, he's a great energy, usually good, really good, or good, solid defensively. Then offensively is where, the only thing for sure is like he has good passing. But other than that, you hope that he can get a consistent shot. And then inside, finishes at the rim. He had a nice and one. I know he did that. He missed the free throw, but he had a nice and one. Give him that against DeAndre Jordan. So that was really nice and good to see from him. You can just see he's starting to put it together. And that's, I guess what you want to see, Gino. But the rest of the team, we're building. He's building. The team's just getting better day by day. We had a return tonight. Marquise Chris returned. Reggie Bullock out. I didn't mention that, but he was out tonight again. But we did gain Marquise Chris back. And he only played 8 minutes in this game, but did solid. I mean, didn't do all the best, but honestly, I thought maybe he should have got some more minutes in this game, but maybe they didn't want to rush him back and give him too much or anything like that. But I think maybe just how things were going, I think maybe he should have got some more run. He did have a nice little one putback dunk, ferocious slam, one hand, got the rebound, just went straight up with it. Something we just need, something, especially with this team we haven't really seen a whole lot of. So, good to see him back on the floor. Hopefully he does better for us in the future. Frank Ntilikina hit a 3 in this game, nice. Bertans at the end. I'm just going through the stats, looking at players, but honestly, this is just an off night for the Mavs. That's all it was. Off night. Give credit to Philly. They came. They did what they're supposed to do. They handled business. We did make it tough on them. James Harden didn't score didn't get a bucket. I think he had a couple free throws, but he didn't score any buckets in the first, at least in the first quarter. So we kind of at least made it tough on him tonight to get his points, and especially Embiid, it made him rely on his jumper than going inside and getting those easy points. So honestly, all in all, just an off night. If Luka shot a little bit better, honestly, this is a tight game, and once it gets to a clutch time, we've been doing pretty well lately. I don't know if you know, but so that would have been could have been a different game. And honestly, before this game, the Mavericks, since acquiring Spencer Dinwiddie, I haven't got to mention this on this pod, but we've had 8 wins in the clutch time since getting him, and that's first in the NBA. We're a plus 50 in point differential, which is first in the NBA. We are first in field goal percentage at 55% in clutch time, which is first in the NBA, and second in the NBA in clutch time and three-point percentage at 42%. So Dinwiddie has done, great for us, and I don't want to take this game to take away from everything that we've, just gone through, because it was just an off night from these guys. Even Dinwiddie himself, it's just, off night, and honestly, when you're going against 2 superstars and Joel Embiid and James Harden, they should win, and only, with the squad we got. So for us to really be in it, only lose by 10 at the end, take it on the chin. You just, take the L, take it on the chin, as I said. You move on to the next one, because we do play tomorrow night, guys. Make sure to check that one out. We're back at it tomorrow night. We play the Hornets at 6 o'clock. And that one's on NBA TV if y'all watching on TV, and don't, if you're on a pirate. But yeah, Mavs take on it's at Hornets, so they will be traveling tonight. Right now they're going to Charlotte, heading already to Charlotte, get over there, play them, another tough team. You got LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, you got some Miles Bridges, you got some Montrezl Harrell. They don't have another big. They're kind of like us, but it's going to be one of those who makes their shots wins that game, and I'm actually looking forward to that game. That'll be more exciting, more even game. Obviously, we got our guys to get some rest at the end of this game, because we know we weren't going to win there at the end. So hopefully they'll be fueled up from this L, ready to go to erase that. Go ahead and start another winning streak this next game against the Hornets. That'll be great, because then we play Timberwolves on Monday, which will be a great game. The Timberwolves are actually surging this year. They're trying to get into that 6th spot, out of that play-in tournament, and we definitely don't want to fall, and they're trying to get up. So it'll be a great competitive game. They're going to come out trying to win that game. So next few games are going to be really good. Right now, the Mavs sit still in the 5th seed, 43-27. I know the Jazz are playing right now. I don't know the score exactly right now. When I started the pod, Jazz were winning. They were beating the Clippers. So hopefully the Clippers, this is weird saying, there's room for the Clippers, but hopefully the Clippers come back and can get a win there. Hopefully Reggie Jackson has another big game, and just goes off. But other than that, man, not much more. The Mavericks have honestly been playing, really well, and I hope that they continue this growth that they've had all season, and they continue the rest of the season into the playoffs, because it seems like this group just loves playing with each other. Even in this loss, you just tell they just play for one another, and they're very unselfish with the ball. So everybody knows their role. It's really awesome to see as just a basketball fan, especially a fan of your own team, as they move forward. And as of the outside, I know some stuff has come out recently with the whole Donnie Nelson, suing us and the back and forth Cuban. Honestly, I don't get into that much of that drama bullshit, to be honest with y'all. I save that for the birds. I don't go into all that. I don't give a shit. I'm strictly basketball. That's why I do this pod, man. This is strictly all basketball. That's why when people start to bring up personal stuff about outside of basketball, I just, save that for some other podcast and, some other time to talk. This is strictly basketball, and that's why I want to keep this pod strictly basketball until it affects the basketball side of things or the whole organization as a whole. Then I'll go back on it. Right now, it's just a lot of drama going on, and that is that, and I'll leave that for the rest of the other mad people that really like to get in all to the little dramas and all that type of stuff, because honestly, I'm not here for it. I'm here for the basketball. We're doing good. I'm focused on the people on the court, doing that really, what the organization is. It's the players. It's, what we're doing on the court. And so, through all that bullshit, I just want to, another shout out, Jason Kidd and the coaching staff, even, Sean Sweeney and Dudley, the Igor, all those dudes, man. They're doing a great job with this team. Shout out to the players, everybody that's coming, especially now that's left on the roster. They've been doing a fucking fantastic job, and they're just, as I said, they're growing each game, and it seems like we're just getting better and better because everybody knows their role. So we're just, everybody knows where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. Now it's just, learning to execute it and executing against different teams, different looks. So that's, I feel like that's half the battle there of learning, everybody knowing, understanding where they're supposed to be. And now it's just, game by game, learning different situations, going against different looks and how different people are going to play, especially in the playoffs when things get in the thick. And we're going to need some of these guys to step up and to make different plays. It's, it's good growth for everybody. And that's basically it, man. I'm just going to finish it up like that, man. I got my family inside. I'm out here spending family time this weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and go get back in there with them. I'm AG. Thanks for listening. We do have a Twitter. I do have a Twitter. It's at Mavs_rundown if you want to follow. Mavs Rundown is also on YouTube along with Spotify. So check it out on either or. Hopefully I'll have it on more different platforms later on. But we'll get that rolling as soon as we can. And remember, guys, cool heads prevail. And I'll see y'all next time, tomorrow, on the Mavs Rundown.